with my own two hands. Make a better place with my own two hands. Make a kinder place with my own two hands. With my own two hands. With my own two hands.
T'as changé mon langue avec des mains moins. Fais un monde qui vit bon avec des mains moins. Fais un monde qui vit douce avec des mains moins. Avec deux mains moins. Avec deux mains moins.
Gonna make it a brighter place. Gonna make it a safer place. Gonna help human rights with my own two hands.
Je veux changer le monde
Avec mes deux mains.
faire un monde meilleur,
Avec mes deux mains.
faire un monde plus doux,
Avec mes deux mains.
avec mes
deux mains. Avec mes deux mains. Avec mes deux mains. Avec mes deux mains.
I'm gonna make it a brighter place. I'm gonna make it a safer place. I'm gonna help the human race. And I hold you. And I comfort you. But you got to use your own two hands.
Well, you done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to beat you, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest. And nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some. But I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 and love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved, love, 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 loved. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Do you? But do you want to come on? I scooch on over closer, dear, and I will nibble your ear. Soon I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer, but my breath fogged up the glass, and so I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I'll be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find that the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. I'm yours. I'm yours. Baby, you believe I'm yours. You best believe I'm yours. done me and you bet I felt it. I tried to be chill, but you're so hot that I melted. I fell right through the cracks. Now I'm trying to get back. Before the cool done run out, I'll be giving it my bestest, and nothing's gonna stop me but divine intervention. I reckon it's again my turn to win some or learn some, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find love, 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 and love. Listen to the music of the moment, people dance and sing. We're just one big family, and it's our God-forsaken right to be loved. Love, 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 love. So I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm sure there's no need to complicate. Our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. Do you, but do you, but do you want to come on? I scooch on over closer, dear, and I will nibble your ear. Soon to boom, 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 boom. I've been spending way too long checking my tongue in the mirror and bending over backwards just to try to see it clearer, but my breath fogged up the glass, and so I drew a new face and I laughed. I guess what I'll be saying is there ain't no better reason to rid yourself of vanities and just go with the seasons. It's what we aim to do. Our name is our virtue, but I won't hesitate no more, no more. It cannot wait. I'm yours. Well, open up your mind and see like me. Open up your plans and damn, you're free. I look into your heart and you'll find that the sky is yours. So please don't, please don't, please don't. There's no need here to complicate, 'cause our time is short. This is our fate. I'm yours. I'm yours.
Hi everyone. Something is start to happening. That's good. Okay, start participants. I feel free to mute you all. We change that in between. Okay, turn that all off here. So let's sit for a while and just wait till other people are coming in. And I expect about, well, I don't know, maybe 10, 15, maybe 20 people. So it depends on, there were about 40 sign-ups, and it's a wonderful day in Stockholm today, and I guess in other parts of the world as well. So it will be good weather somewhere where you are, and so I'm very appreciative that you're sitting in front of the screen and not outside in the sunshine. I was just out trying to get another microphone. I'm still here with my headphones. And I was thinking just like, I don't know if I would just go on a webinar on this day. So thank you for being here. So I would just start with something small. I would ask you, and I see Joseph Kramer is here. Hi, Joseph Kramer. We never met in person. What an honor to have you here on the screen and online. And yeah, thanks for joining. So please write in the chat where you're from, which part of the world, and maybe in which time zone. And I unmute you, or I mute you all, so that we having no sound interference. So from Spain, Sydney, 2 a.m. Oh my God, I appreciate you for joining at 2 a.m. Gothenburg in Sweden. I guess a few from US. California, Berlin. Hi to Berlin. I will be there in August. And change the camera here a little bit. Toronto, Oakland, I said that already, California. London. I'm so amazed that the entire world is just joining Gothenburg, Sweden. From Berlin, Steff Zäuner. Hi. Bali. Hi, Nadia. I've been in Bali till beginning of April, till everything shut it down, and then came here to Stockholm, where it's my home now. That's exciting. All right. So while we starting slowly, I put that here aside and opening up my keynote and see where that all goes. Okay, chat is here. Please forgive me my kind of clumsiness with the technique. I'm still trying to figure that all out. I have at the moment I have 2 cameras, an iPad, a computer, and trying to get that all going. And the last webinar, just my computer just crashed in the middle of it. And it's pretty devastating. So I would suggest let's go straight in. We have about 90 minutes. It's 6:03. We go about 7:30. Again, appreciation and thank you for joining here today and being here, for your registration and coming from all over the world in all time zones where you all are, and being part of that. I will mute you or unmute you so that we all have a kind of a clear sound experience here. Or I ask you spontaneously to unmute you if you have any questions. Beside that, on this side of my situation here is an iPad where I have the chat open so that I can see everything. So if you have a question, please write a Q that I know you have a question and write that in, and I hopefully will read that. So I have no assistance or no co-host here at the time. I managed that all on my own today. Please feel utterly, totally free and entitled to switch your camera on or off exactly as you like. So if you don't want to be seen, then of course, turn your camera off. And if you're comfortable with being seen, then choose for yourself. All right. So, so this webinar is about the foundation of somatic consent and where that all came from, how to use it, what it all is about. And at the end of the webinar, I will give you an invitation to a starting online training that starts on Saturday. It's a 10-week training with some kind of extra bonuses in there as well. Just free baked somatic consent handbook that you can actually study for yourself. So I will give you the link, and you can download that. It's in PDF. You can read it. There are pictures or maps that I created, and you can study yourself. There are links to videos if you have more interest in the material. And of course, you can ask me anytime questions via email or on Facebook. So foundation of somatic consent, who is it for? It's literally for everyone who is committed to be true to themselves, be authentic, and integrity with themselves and others. So it is literally for individuals like me, like you, like each and one of you, for engaging with a partner, with couples, lovers, play buddies in any kind of regard, and as well for practitioner, any kind of body worker, facilitator, coaches, therapists, to use that modality in any way you can take a benefit out of that. Who is it not for? People who don't want to take full ownership and radical self-responsibility for their action and their choices in life. So people who blaming others and making others responsibility for where they are at. So this is a work that invites you to take full ownership and step into your own power and into your own truth. So what are we going to do today is we're going into some slides about the polyvagal theory, so about neurological self and co-regulation, how that works in relationship to the nervous system, how to find the central inflow and feeling pleasure in your hands, your skin, in your body, what is the somatic foundation of this entire system. Without that, it just remains rational in the head and it's getting pretty flat. So I highly recommend to do the somatic deep dive version. You will get some empowerment map for your emotional competency and fluency so that you literally can detect in what neurological state you are in and how to change from one state to another. So I kind of go slowly into that. Then, of course, how is the somatic consent engagement system built, where it's from, how it's created, how to work with it, and yeah, see where that all goes. So does it resonate with you? You're in the right place, thumbs up. All right, great, thank you. So then please stay tuned. So individually, if you're having any difficulties for asking for what you want, or having any difficulties expressing your limits or your boundaries, or feeling pleasure or feeling at all, so again, I will send you at the end of this webinar the link for the online class, and you choose if you want to be part of that, as well the free student handbook that I said already. So I said that again, once you have the foundation of somatic consent embodied and you step into your full potential of your choice and autonomy, you will feel that there is a shift in your nervous system from where you make choices. And this is what I call empowerment, that we actually take full ownership of ourselves and how we feel about things when we engage with other people. Yeah, so a few words about myself. My name is Matthias Schwentek. I'm German born. I call myself a world citizen. I've been traveling around the world about 5 times since 2010. And I've been teaching individuals, facilitator, body worker, couples. Have been teaching in retreats and other people's classes. I don't know, a few thousand people around the world in this 10 years, and finding pleasure in their body and staying connected to their body. So I've been a student from Betty Martin since 2014. So she was my mentor starting 2014 for about 6 years. And I have co-founded with her and my ex-partner the School of Consent. And I've taught with her, I don't know, about 30 workshops for practitioners around the world, and have kind of embodied it from the roots, from the core. So I know where it's from the roots, how it got developed. I know the entire shebang around it, and see how much I can share around that today. In about end of last year, I choose to move away from Betty Martin and the school and develop my own system. What you see today, what is the Somatic Consent Engagement System? And that has a reason, because there's one specific spot in the Somatic Consent Engagement System that I was missing around the work of the Wheel of Consent. And I've heard that around the world from so many people that there are some shortcomings in there, and that's the what I call the spiritual integration of this entire work. So where is that all going? What's the development of that, and how our shadows are a potential for growth and evolution? So I want to integrate that and put that all together in one package and not separate one from the other. So still the system is still based on the same dynamics of the Wheel of Consent. I just call it differently, and I want to respect Betty Martin's copyrights and trademarks, so I don't want to create any competition. I just moved in another direction here. So let's see, if you have any questions at the moment, please feel free to write anything in there. I can see that easily. So now I made a note here, and would like to invite you into one little exercise. So I start here. I will share the screen. It's here. Okay, so we just click through that. So that's the Somatic Consent Engagement System. Just a few words around that. What that is, the Somatic Consent Engagement System. It's divided in these few words. So Somatic Consent and Engagement System. So somatic is based on the sensual inflow, so that what we can actually be aware of, the sensation in our skin, in our body, and the motor, the action, so that you literally can follow your impulses of action towards a sensual experience, what is actually natural, organic, given in everybody, in every human's body and in every human's nervous system. But most people have kind of forgotten it or how to do it. And so this is what the system is literally doing. It's reminding you what is already there on a very natural and organic way. So, and then you have the second part, what is consent. And consent is divided in either permission or agreement. And you will see that during this webinar that these are two different things, so that we cannot create an agreement based on asking somebody else to do something for us by giving them permission, because then we're just operating from an, I would say, from a shadow of communication. And I know that myself, if somebody's giving me permission to do something for them, I actually say, just like, I'm not interested, I'm not doing anything here. I actually shut down and say, stop on this point. And the engagement system, and that comes, and I'm really excited about that, from the polyvagal theory from Stephen Porges. So I've been studying with him since 2015. So I've been in a few workshops with him, and so read his book and everything around trauma and PTSD from Basil van der Kolk about the so-called free state and how the nervous system is literally an important part of our human engagement. So that the polyvagal theory has one specific part in there, and that's the social engagement system. So the social engagement system is this part, how we as humans engage. So social engagement system, this is what gave the somatic consent engagement system the name of engagement system. Because when we want to engage with other people, then we can choose how we do that. I rather choose that from a natural, organic way. And that's the, one second here, and that's the inclusion of the ventral vagus nerve that has been forming the social engagement system in our nervous system. And if you have any curiosity about that, please feel totally free to get some information, Google that. Stephen Porges is an amazing man, sharing very generous his work. You can use it in any kind of work. It's really phenomenal. And then of course, the ventral vagus nerve is that part in our nervous system that is detecting safety and connection with people we are around. So that's literally the roots and the core of the somatic consent engagement system, and how this is kind of built together in the wording. So I invite you for a little exercise, and that's the key component of this entire dynamic, and that is waking up your hands. And waking up your hands is not only waking up your hands, is as well waking up that part in your brain that is aware of what's going on in your hands. And I invite you for a few moments, just shake your hands. Just shake them in any way so that they're kind of getting loose in any way, so that there's no tension in your hands. And then hold them still. And what are you aware of? How does it feel? My hands are buzzing. My hands are vibrating. So there's some nerve ending in my hands. They're signalizing another part in my brain that they're buzzing, they're vibrating. Can you feel that? Yeah, okay, good. So this is an important piece. And so this is what waking up the hands literally means, is that we're bringing all our attention to the sensation in our hands. So, and the first, I just saw there's one question, the name of the ventral vagus, the name of the person you mentioned, it is Stephen Porges. Stephen, P-O-R-G-E-S, Stephen Porges. Okay, so then when you wake up your hands, your brain is of course part of that. So the signals that comes from your hands, from your nerve ending in your hands, that will travel into your brain through the somatic part. So the sensory part, one nerve ending in your hand is sending signals, electromagnetic little kind of sparks into your brain, and it fires different areas up in your brain. So, and another part as well of the somatic part is your motor. And your motor is whenever you're having an action or an impulse of an action, you start moving your body. So when you're sending an impulse from your brain to your hand, reach out and do something, scratch my head, get the bottle, put that to your mouth and drink, it is literally motor impulses in your somatic nervous system, sending sparks to your muscles and moving something. So they go both together. So when they both go together, and when you slow down enough the speed of movement, a specific part of your brain, the cerebellum, is switched off. So the cerebellum is sending signals to your sensory cortex that is copying the data that comes in to your feeling center. But when you move slow enough, this copied data will not be sent, so that there's literally a short circuit when you're moving slow enough that you will actually start feeling something. And that's the key component in the entire dynamic that your emotional touch system is getting activated. And the emotional touch system, this is what I would like to show you now. So if you're not sitting relaxed yet, I invite you to sit back on a chair. I will demonstrate that for you so that your trunk and your shoulders is relaxed. So you sit really as if you're sitting on the beach and having a cocktail or any kind of a nice juice or something. So you're really good. Your shoulders are loose, your elbows are loose. If you can, take a cushion in your lap. If you have something to lean your elbows on so that your hands are kind of really loose and free. And then I ask you to take an object in your hand. It can be anything. If you don't have an object, just use the cushion. It doesn't really matter what it is. What matters is that you do it, that you feel it. Because if you just only rationalizing that in your brain, it will not land. So the rational thinking mind that is listening to me, that is watching me, that cannot create this sensation. So you have to do it to feel it. I invite you to take a deep breath. It's a good way breathing out till the end of the out breath and just letting the breath occurs just by the impulse of breathing in. And then just make connection with this object in your hands. And you can choose to close your eyes or open your eyes. Whatever works for you. And just feel it, what you have there in your hand. And it doesn't matter how fast you move, slow down your speed by half. And then slow down your speed by half again. And there's some information coming straight ahead. One of them might be, what is that object that you're having? So might you give it a name, or you know what the purpose is? But that's all secondary. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for some data that coming through your hands. One of this data is the temperature of the object. And you feel that with your skin. There are nerve ending in your hands. They can detect the temperature, of course. And then you can sense if it's solid or, so the density, is it solid or smooth or soft? Is it rough or is it bumpy? What's the density? How heavy is it? So there are a lot of information that is landing in your sensory cortex straight away. So a lot of data, a lot of information. So, and now I invite you, while you're feeling different sensual informations, to find this tinglish electromagnetic pleasant sensation somewhere where it feels nice, where it feels good. So where you stroke the object over your hand, or you stroke your hand over the object, where you literally feel the sensation of pleasure while you are in a choose movement. And just allow your breath to flow. You might find one piece where it feels extremely good. And then I invite you to stay there. So the importance here is that your physical sensation, the sensual information, is a different information that you will get than on an energetic level. So if you're really good with energetics, give that some appreciation and acknowledgement. And try something, experiment with something different. Experiment with the sensual, physical experience of your skin. Touching an object, not your other hand. It's a different thing, touching your hands or touching an object. And you recognize pretty fast that there's nothing to give here, there's nothing to get, there's nowhere to go. It's not about love, it's not about relationship. It's just your choice of action towards a physical sensation of pleasure in your skin. Super simple, super easy. And just allow yourself to sink into that experience. There's nothing coming back. And you might want to rest and stop there for a moment. And then come slowly back to micro movements on a very subtle level. If your mind wanders, that's okay, it's its job. And bring your attention straight back to the experience in your skin. So that you notice that your action towards pleasure is by choice and happens by your own impulses. That it's not coming from a rational part, it comes more from a feeling part. It's another part of your brain, is the limbic brain. All right, and then I invite you to slow down till you stop. Rest your hands there for a moment. Let this experience just reverberate in your body. And stop sharing here on that point. Bring your awareness back to the screen. And let's go in about a 5-minute round of sharing. What did you notice in your body while you did that? And feel free to unmute yourself and just speak into the room. We are just 19 people. That's the perfect number. So I've just only one screen. We can manage that. What do you notice in your body feeling an object?
I can start.
Please.
Yeah, I feel an orgastic feeling, like energy going in my whole body.
Yes.
Really pleasant.
Thank you. So it goes into a place of expansion. Yes. Good noticing. Anybody else?
Yeah, I could share. So kind of this quality of discovery, of listening through my body to the qualities that I'm experiencing. And yeah, it's an inanimate object, but still, it's still a relationship, and just playing with the different experiences I could have with that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you. Who else?
Yeah. Hi. Yeah. I was holding a little monkey. Became like really peaceful and calm, but I think some of that was your voice as well, Matt.
Mm-hmm.
And then could connect to my breath. And my hands are a little tingly, and even my whole body is a little tingly now. But I think I'm enjoying the field actually.
Oh, good. Thank you. So important here is in this sharing is that you are the expert of your experience, and what you notice is true. So nobody can tell you it's right or wrong. So what you experience, what you notice, this is key because you have been moving towards your own experience. So what did you notice in your body while you did that?
Are we still sharing?
Yes, please. We have a few more minutes.
I had a tube of lotion, and it has corners that are pokey and a smooth surface. And then the cap is a little bit textured as well. And so I noticed difference in different places. Like the bottom of the lotion was sharp, and the tube itself was smooth. And so as I'd run it along my arms, it felt soft and inviting. And as I would turn it to the corner, it would be sharp and scratchy and have a distance to it. And so there was also preference that I began to notice in enjoying the smooth, soft rubbing along my body, opposed to the scratchy, sharp corners or even the harder texture of the cap. And so there was all kinds of energy that would arise. And I yeah, you know, I definitely noticed the places that I wanted to gravitate.
Yeah. Thank you for your sharing. So who have you noticed that it would not really make any difference what kind of object you take in your hand? I mean, of course, yeah, different objects have different set of data, but you know, who noticed that when you sink into the experience in your skin, it doesn't matter what you touch? Have you come to that point? Yeah, kind of still some meaning attached to the object and some purpose, and it's still, this is all there. So this is all part of the course where we're starting on Saturday, how to separate the meaning and the context, that the experience of our sensory inflow becomes pure, so that the pureness of our inflow becomes the foundation of being connected and feeling touch, so that we are not dependent on the context and the meaning that we're giving to something, so that we're literally really landing fully in our skin, in our body. So when this is arising in the nervous system, it doesn't matter what you touch. I just had a talk with a friend the other day. So she's helping me co-writing the book, and so she's writing it all down and reading it, and she is really into this sensation of the hands. And she said, just like I was sitting in the bathtub the other day and closed my eyes, and I was so relaxed and it feels so good. And then there was this on the smooth part of the bathtub, there was this a rough little corner, little edge, and I played with that, and it felt so good. And I played there, I don't know how long. And then at the end, I just recognized it was chicken shit. So at the end, it doesn't matter what you touch. When you take the meaning and the context away from the experience, and it's too simple for the rational mind to grasp that. And I will share you why that is, because the rational mind is working in a quarter of a second. the inflow, the sensory data from your skin in your brain is working in a 30th of a second. So that's nearly 8 times faster than the mind can work. So that when you do that, one thing happens for sure here, you become more present in your body. And that's just only one benefit. There are much more, but this is one of them. All right, let's move on. Everybody feels good. You're ready for rock and roll? Okay, great. Because then fasten your seatbelts. I will just change back into the keynote slide, and we'll go straight for the next probably 10, 15 minutes. And then we have another round in questions. And it's if you're rational, kind of like to be fat, that will just fill up your tank, I promise. All right, so I go back into screen share. Okay, so everybody can see that slide? Polyvagal theory, is it there? Yeah? You can see it, okay, great. So polyvagal theory, so where the engagement system is from. So that's one of my topic themes. So the polyvagal theory, as I said, that is the social engagement system, the ventral vagus nerve, what is parasympathetic, that will determine in any engagement if you are safe or if you're not safe. So that you can connect with a person or you just determine a different response. So the polyvagal theory in the nervous system is hierarchical structured. And it's from the top down system, so that we always engage the social engagement system first, what is the ventral vagus nerve. The second one is your sympathetic. Your sympathetic is everything that is your emotional body, that gets your body moving and going, any kind of physical activity. It's an important feature, is part of the nerves. I don't want to go to too much details in here. And then the third part is your brainstem activity, what is the dorsal vagus, what is as well parasympathetic. So there are two branches of the vagus nerve. One is the dorsal and one is the ventral. And this is why this theory calls poly, because there are several or two. So, and that the sympathetic is literally like a switcher between your social engagement system and your parasympathetic nervous system. And I described that in a few seconds so that you just see where that goes. So your social engagement system is determined if you're either safe in an environment or if you're not safe in an environment. So if you're not safe, your nervous system, if you cannot bring yourself in an environment in a safe engagement, your nervous system will automatically go on a survival strategy of fight or flight, so because it's detecting danger. And that's just a natural response in us mammals. So all mammals have that. And that either makes you fight, you attack in any form, or you run away and you want to disappear. Everybody knows what I'm talking about? I know that very well. So if you can't bring yourself in a safe situation, if you cannot disappear danger, your nervous system will collapse on one part. You will go in shock or faint, or the freeze, the kind of the getting, feeling a life threat. So you're getting numb. And this is where trauma is actually getting caused in your body, if you want to say so. So that has an important feature and reason, because if we're getting eaten by a tiger, we don't feel pain. It's good. So we have all that, and we need to acknowledge the survival strategies in our nervous system as something that want our best, and that's survive. So there's nothing wrong or bad about survive. So that when people are numb, if they can't feel anything, to a degree, they are in a post-traumatic stress syndrome or in any kind of way shut down that they cannot feel. So any kind of oppression is possible to make people numb. So the entire system and everything that I want to share with you has not to do anything with healing or getting people out of that, but sometimes people getting triggered there when stuff and feelings are coming up. And that's the invitation to acknowledge your feelings as survival strategies. So if you are safe and you're creating agreements with other people, your nervous system goes as well into sympathetic state. And that calls in a safe place mobilization. So here, the safe part here, sympathetic, is everything that the body loves to do. Sympathetic is good when we're safe, and that's yoga or dance or sport, or when you go to work. So we want sympathetic activity in our nervous system and our body. When we have exhausted ourselves, then we go into the dorsal vagus, the parasympathetic, into immobilization, that is rest and rejuvenation, sleep or meditation. When you do a good yoga session, you go in Shavasana. This is happening down there. I call that the bliss state. The bliss state is a neurological space that is irrational, but we are connected to our neocortex. On the not safe side, we literally cannot make choices. So we are not in a place of having clear thinking pattern, except you're just well trained in maybe martial arts, or you're a firefighter or a soldier or a police officer, then people getting trained dealing with danger. However, the entire system is based on how to engage with other people and being capable of reaching the bliss state, the place of immobilization. And that's a beautiful state I really love to be in. And just the question, do you like the bliss state, immobilization in a safe place, rest, rejuvenation, being relaxed, expansion, yeah? This is what you just did with the object. What happens is when you touch an object, you release oxytocin in your central brain that is inhibiting the release of cortisol and adrenaline, so that your nervous system is automatically self-regulating in a state of relaxation and ease. So this is a meditation. You feel more. It's really nice. It's really good stuff. So this is a very vulnerable place here, the bliss state. We can easily switch out of that into freeze and shock, but we cannot go back. The nervous system is not wired that way. We have to always go the full round and have to go through the sympathetic nervous system back into social engagement system before we can go back into place of relaxation and ease. We can switch into fight flight from there. Yeah, when you're in relaxation and there's somebody is just like popping a balloon, you just like go, oh, what was that? And then, okay, nothing wrong, you can go back into sleep state. So you can go from mobilization into shock, faint, and collapse. Imagine an accident. Or you can go back from shock, faint, collapse into the mobilization, any kind of physical therapies, emotional release techniques, and so on and so forth. And another one, of course, between fight and flight. You can go between mobilization and fight flight. Imagine you have a sport game, a violation, people start fighting, then you have a repair of violation, and then people can play again. So it's an important feature that we can variate between different neurological stages. And that's an important feature to have. Important is when I know my own neurological states, I can detect other people's stages, and I can co-regulate other people. When I know in which state I am and I'm not comfortable, I can train myself to do neurological shifts from one state to another state. However, so there's a hybrid state between social engagement system and mobilization. And in this hybrid state, there's something possible that is play, connection, sensuality, touch, and sexuality. And this is where the somatic consent engagement system fits perfectly in. Because this is where we want to hang out. We want to create agreements with other people that are meaningful to us, to have the experience that we choose to have together. Yeah. Okay, so we have been through waking up the hands as the base of the entire system. And when two people have this activated in themselves and they have an agreement to play with each other and have an agreement to touch each other, then they come together in a way of engagement about the action what's going to happen. And in this engagement is either your action or it's for you, or it is your action is for another person. So you either do your action for yourself like you did with the object, or you do your action for the other person. Or it is their action. No, I just lost it here a little bit. And so the important piece in the engagement zone is that it's either your action or it's either their action, and it's either for them or it is for you. So this is where the wheel of consent is pretty much fit in here. So it's the same dynamic than actually Betty Martin has developed with the wheel of consent. So the wheel of consent got developed in its core, and that's so beautiful why Joseph Kramer is here today, that Harry Fedis had in the Body School of Electric, as far as I'm informed, that belonged to Joseph Kramer's work, a workshop on power and surrender where the 3-minute game was part of engagement between participants. And the 3-minute game was literally created to give two people an equal share of engagement. And by playing the 3-minute game, Betty Martin developed the wheel of consent, and out of that I developed the somatic consent engagement system. So on that point, if you, 1 second here, on this point, this is where the consent part comes in. So you either have permission to do an action or you have agreement to do an action. So when you ask for permission for your own action towards another person, then you need to have the question, the request, can I do that for myself? Or you want somebody else is doing the action. And then you say, hey, can you do this or can you do that? So now, when you feel like all the information making your brain already kind of, and you just start getting confused, raise your hand. Everybody can still follow? You're still with me on the track? Everything is good? Okay, good. All right. So sometimes it is difficult to ask for what we want. So why don't you ask for what you want? Why is it difficult to go in an action for yourself? And there are different reasons here. So we discovered that in the online training really deeply, but I just want to just like go quickly through them. So with fear of rejection, we don't know how, or we're unsure. The other person is more important and it's not appropriate. Shame or guilt, we have no right to feel, or we are afraid to be boring for asking for what we want. So what are we doing instead if we don't ask for what we want? Judging the other person, creating an addiction, getting annoyed, we withdraw, we do it anyway, we manipulate, or we do spiritual bypassing. Oh, I have no needs anymore, I'm beyond any needs. Okay, so then on the other side, when it's for the other person and you are in action, why is it difficult to say no? Wanting to be liked, pleasing other people, it's too tough. You should or you have to, you want to prove love, feeling guilty or afraid of being left. So that's why people don't say no. And I guess you have all your individual reasons why it's difficult for you sometimes to say no. Or maybe you are already an expert and you can no anytime. So what are you doing instead of saying no? Saying yes, giving in, suffering, getting resentful, avoidance, disconnecting, compromise, escaping, getting frustrated, hiding, running away, saying yes but meaning no. So if you can't ask for what you want, what are you doing instead? If you don't have permission, there comes the shadow into the game. What is rape, stealing, perpetrator, abuse, and violation? If you have no agreements and you want somebody else to go in action, it's the shadow of expectation, exploitation, entitlement, lazy, or the freeloader. If you can't say no and you don't give permission to another person for their action, is the victim, enduring trauma, going along, being passive, not being capable of taking your boundaries at all, or the limits of doing something for other people without having a request, and that's the burnout, the pleaser, give to get, the martyr, do-gooder, slave, or the nice girl or the nice guy dynamic. So, how can you learn this? By practice. Let's stop here. And we have still a nice room of people. So what I would like to do is giving you an experience for the next 15 minutes, just a tiny little bit to know where that goes. I have to go back to the screen share 1 second. Because then this one slide is missing. And that is making a request. And if this is the 3 pieces that you take away from this webinar today, then you're on the winner side. The first thing is you're just going in action towards yourself and feeling yourself. The second one is you make a request, can I? That's an action for yourself. Or you make another request, can you, where you want somebody else is going into an action. So where you request an action from another person that is for you, that you receive something. And that's what I would like to play with you. So if you want to make a screenshot out of that, or if you would just want to write them down, these 2 questions, I help you through that. It's really fun. I created an entire workshop out of that calls the Consent Lab. And that's what I would like to do with you. Okay, so take a deep breath. And of course, if you don't want to do that, you only do that in your own way as it feels comfortable for you. If you want to keep your camera off, you keep your camera off. If you want to turn it on, you turn it on. If you want to challenge yourself, feel totally entitled to make mistakes. I will guide you into that. And so have a look around who is in here in this chat room, so different faces. And you can, when you go with your mouse on the picture, you see the name of that person. Yeah. So, and of course, there's no action involved here because we are just like sitting on the screen. Well, we want to play and practice the dynamic of making requests. And you will see that it will kick you automatically into your own neurological state of either danger, fight, flight, or you just actually freeze up, or you're getting numb, or you're getting really curious and you're getting excited and want to play with that. So the invitation is, and I give you an example first, to challenge yourself. So I would start with Joseph Kramer. Joseph Kramer, I would like to make a request to you. And whatever I say, you just feel into your own body as a resonance if you are willing to do that or not. So if you give me permission or if you're willing to do that, okay? And that doesn't need any action. So my request to you, Joseph, would be, Joseph, can I hold your face and can I kiss your forehead?
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Okay, another request, and I would like to ask Katis, can I make a request to you?
Yes.
Katis, will you give me a 1 hour deep tissue back massage. And you feel into yourself if you're willing to do that.
Yes, I am.
Yes, thank you. Okay. So if you have heard, I just made these 2 requests. One is, can I do that for my own action? So I ask for permission. And the other one is, will you do that for me? And there's permission not working. So I have to make a request that is creating an agreement. If I would ask Katis or say to Katis, hi Katis, now you are allowed to massage my back. That sounds weird, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So therefore, when I make a request, I have to do 2 things at the same time here. One is I have to put my desire first. I have to say what I want, and that is inherently vulnerable because I'm in danger to be rejected and I can be judged and made wrong. So it's a vulnerable state asking for what I want. That's the first thing. The second thing is I have to respect the other person's limit, their no. Even if there is a no, I might still have the desire and it might not change my desire, but I respect your limits. Yeah? If I would not respect your limits, then I would not operate from integrity. I probably would come from a shadow of entitled that you have to or you should. Okay, let's play that for about, I don't know, 5 minutes or 10 minutes. It's really fun. It goes super fast, engaging with other people. Please feel free. If you want to make a request, unmute yourself and we just go in the order who comes first, ask first. Ask somebody else by name and ask them the question, may I do that for myself or will you do that for me? Who would like to go first?
I'll go.
Yes, please.
So, Laura, I would like to ask you for permission for me to do something towards you. Or do I have your permission to ask you? Is that smile a yes? I'm not sure what say if I can ask you. Is that okay to ask? Because I don't want to impose my request, or should I just make my request?
I would say thank you for please unmute yourself. If you don't want to engage, just put your thumb down. I think that's the easiest way.
Well, it sounds like marketing trick, you know, so immediately. So, but yeah,
no,
you can ask.
No trick. I want to honor you. So yeah, I just want, I don't know, I don't have to ask that first, but I like to, because I never know, I don't know you. So anyway, should I just go ahead and ask?
Yes, please.
Okay. So do I have your permission to come towards you and just approach you and slowly come into your physical space and see where we might come into contact with some part of our body together with the intention of well-being and nurturing. So I would be listening to your response as I come towards you.
Can I simplify that?
Please do.
So easier it is to, because it's a pretty broad request that somebody else needs a ton of information what that meant. Yeah. So it brings a lot of meaning into the game. So if you ask directly and ask, hey Laura, can I put my head in your lap for 5 minutes? So you make it really solid and concrete, something like that, or may I hold your hands?
Okay.
So that she can actually make a choice about her limits and saying from an empowered place, yes or no.
Okay. Laura, can I approach, do I have your permission to approach you and lightly lean into your shoulder with my shoulder.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
Yeah.
We could.
Thank you.
I need
All
to
right.
say that in the first case, I would say really no, just because it's really sounded somehow, I don't know, too much, too complicated, and I was not sure what do you want. And that's why, yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you both. Okay, anybody else? How does it feel in your body? It's getting exciting, getting a little bit of ooh.
Warmth.
Cindy, can I hug you and hold you for 3 minutes and have you see me and hold me back?
I have no, I'm not really sure who that was addressed to Cindy. I can't see somebody with the name Cindy.
Maybe somebody left the room. My phone, I don't have this the silent people on the screen.
Okay.
But yeah, evidently somebody left the room while the other two were doing their thing. So I'll pass.
All right, sorry. But thank you for asking. I appreciate your forthcoming and your courage. That was brave, and that was a good step. You did something vulnerable. I appreciate that. Who else would like to make a request to somebody else?
Anne-Marie, can do I have your permission to stroke your hair?
Yes, you can. Am I allowed to say gladly stroke my hair? Can I have enthusiasm as well?
Yeah, yeah. You can totally have a hell yes to that.
Hell yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the interesting thing is when two people engaging with a level of integrity, so where you put your desire first and respecting the other person's limit, and the other person can feel that this is coming, it's for each one of you in this room, it's a learning field because you can feel that this is in alignment. Yeah. So if something doesn't sound right, you can hear that, you can feel that. So your hearing, your neuroception in your social engagement system will detect if something is wrong or off. Okay, let's have two more, and then I would like to move on.
Can I just ask about that, Matt?
Please, yeah.
It's not really the content of like stroking the hair. It's how it was asked by Cathy. All the tone.
Yeah.
That made me feel safe.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, there are different parameters that are really important. The way how you hear, so the vagus nerve, so the ventral vagus nerve in the social engagement system is related to your hearing, to your middle ear muscles, to your eyes, to your larynx, to your heart, to your lung. And how somebody's speaking, it's not like only the information of the voice that is coming, it's as well the vibration that you can pick up with your ears. It's a specific frequency that you can hear if somebody else is in a place of fear. So the engagement in co-regulation is a really important factor, how people communicate till they find the right vibration, how they can engage with each other. And if this is on a different level, there is no meeting point till this is found. Great question, thank you.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah. Okay, two more if you dare to ask.
I have a question as well. So,
Laura, yes.
Yeah, when I was asked first, so my first reaction was, oh my God, what is it? And well, no way, and so on. But on the same, like panic, how I'm going to say something like that. So how do you learn to say no when I don't know? He didn't ask, anything so impossible, but on the same, he is a known person. I wouldn't like to agree to anything, but I would might think just because it's, I don't know.
It's a really good question. The important piece is by the embodiment of this dynamics is that you land in a place of total radical self-care and self-responsibility and self-love. So there's an impeccability in your nervous system when you can detect the feeling in your body when something comes towards you that you're not clear what it is, you just say no. And that's impeccable. Because if something comes towards you where you can't really say, what is being asked? What is going on? Something kind of feels weird to me, then I naturally say just like, hey, you can ask for whatever you want. And it's my responsibility to ask more questions that I really understand what you really mean. And if I don't understand, I either ask more questions or I just say no. Radical.
Yeah, but then how to say that no, not, being mean or rude or something, I don't know.
Yes, so what happens is when you start with this dynamic, you will come in connection with your strategies of oppression, what I call the nice girl, saying yes to everything because it's dangerous to say no. And you make small steps one in a time to realize where it's difficult for you to say no. And you might need a practice for an entire day to say no to everything that people ask you for. And you invite them to ask for everything. I just say no to everything. So I'm a cuddle party facilitator, and part of cuddle party facilitation is, for example, the exercise just saying no to everything. Sometimes people coming into a cuddle party just to say no to every request, so that they're empowered and entitled to say no whatever comes towards them, and without feeling wrong, or allowing themselves feeling wrong and not feeling bad of feeling wrong. And this is how you learn it, step by step, small little pieces. You don't have to do all at once. Thank you. Okay, one more person before we move on.
Yes, I'd like to make a request.
Yes, please.
Anthony, can I put my nose in your neck and smell you? The sound.
Yes, you can do that.
Yeah. And then, of course, we can ask more questions. How long would you like that? Till you put your nose away, or till I say stop, just a minute? Or so you can literally co-regulate each other by finding the right agreement that it feels really in alignment about everything, that there's nothing left out that feels just odd. Yeah, great question. And there's always something we can deepening. Does it make sense? Yeah. Sometimes we ask a question, and when we put so much meaning into that without actually following up what is really the deeper intention behind it. And that's really important to know and to acknowledge. Okay, so is there any question about that? Any question about the dynamics? Now is the time. We have about, I don't know, 5 minutes or something for questions at this point.
Matt, I have a question.
Yes, please.
So, is it true, even just in this observation that we've just had, or this exercise we've just had, the shorter and the clearer you can be, the better?
I would not say the shorter, I would say the precisely, just like making it as clear as possible. So for example, what is going to happen? Who is doing the action? For how long? Where and when, and what's the location where it's happening? So there are different parameters you can literally track down and say. So when you know how to ask these questions, you can express any desire exactly how you want it. And it's good to want. You know, I do an exercise sometimes I call It's Good to Want, where people just speak out their desire and say what they want as detailed as they possibly can. I want to have I want to have a house. I want to have a house with a pool. I want to have a house with a pool on the ocean. I want to have a house with a pool on the ocean in the south of Europe, maybe Spain. Yeah? And I want to have 5 rooms. So what you want, you can just make that in the same way. I want to have a back massage. I want to have a back massage 4-handed. I want to have a back massage 4-handed from a male and from a female practitioner. And I want that for about half an hour. And I want you to use coconut oil. And I want you to go slowly. And I want you to go firm. And I want you to stop when I say stop. So you can express your desire as detailed as you want. And then it's the other person's responsibility to speak their limits. And you will feel in your body if somebody else will say yes, but meant a no. And then you can say, oh, is it really sure? Are you really sure that you're willing to give that? Because if you're not willing to do that, then actually maybe I don't want to have it. Yeah? So the communication is key in this dynamic to really learn a deeper layer of understanding. Okay, so before we move on, I would like to give you another pair of questions.
Quick question.
Yes, please.
I was writing this down. You said, what is going on? Who is doing the action? Where and for how long? And what do you want?
Who is it for? When, where, how, who is doing the action, for how long, what's the place where it's going to happen? All the W questions.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, so now I would like to do one more piece, and I need to see where I have that. Relationship shadows. It is here. So, that for about another 5 minutes, we'll go on share. So, the system and what's the difference of the system. So, the somatic consent engagement system compared to the wheel of consent has one particular key, and that was always something that was really important for me, is in the wheel of consent, when you look on that, you have the cross about the 2 lines, who is doing the action, who is it for, and then you have the circle of consent around that. What is really transformative dynamic? But I was always wondering, what is that point in the middle where these 2 lines are crossing? So my meaning-making brain was really curious about that. And I've heard that so many times that there is no meaning about that. Till I actually went into, and Joseph Kramer can maybe help me out. Her name is Midori, and she wrote that in one book about the pillars of personal development and engagement. And so I was just looking into her work, and I went a little bit deeper in research. And then I found, you know, that there's a different structure that you can use that gives you a picture of a personal development. And this is what I would like to show next. And it is the dynamic of a pyramid. So when you look on the engagement system from on top, then it is like as if you're looking on a pyramid. So I created that as a 3-dimensional structure where I developed the 4 layers of relating. And the 4 layers of relating is, the first layer is the base of that, what is self-love and self-care. You keep your boundaries and can say no. And you literally have the embodiment of the sensory inflow in your body, because you know that you can move your action towards the sensation of pleasure. So self-love and self-care, the base, the first step. The second, wrong direction, the second step is permission, having permission and giving permission. So what we just did is we were engaging in short-term relationships. You ask permission. Can I touch you? Can I feel your face? Can I kiss your cheek? Can I lay my head in your lap? Can I use your bathtub? Can I play with your hand? So whatever the idea is, or you can even go deeper. Can I play with your genitals, if you want to ask that way, in the direct way of feeling yourself. When I play that with my partner, and people were saying, well, that's getting really boring in a relationship because you don't want to ask every 5 seconds your partner if you can touch them. It's a total relationship killer. Don't do that. I ask my partner first when we start relating, hey, do I have permission infinitely to touch you whenever, however I like, with any part of my body on any part of your body? And she said, oh, thanks for asking. Yes, you can. And will you take care of your limits if you feel it's not right? Yes? Okay, great. I give you the same permission. You can touch with any part of your body, any part of my body, whenever, however you like. I take care of my limits. If I have them, I'm a big boy. Yeah. So we have created the layer of permission on top of feeling each other. So being responsible for our feelings and for reaching out and being capable of feeling ourselves. The third step is having an agreement. If you want me to do something for you, you need to ask. And if I want you to do something for me, I need to ask. You can ask for whatever you want. It's good to want. I take care of my limits. And can you take care of your limits when I ask you for something to say no? Yes, great. Okay, so we created the agreement level on top of the permission level. So I'm responsible for my receiving what I need and what I want, and my partner is responsible for what they need and what they want. So we are not responsible for the other person anymore. We're responsible for ourselves first. And then the last one is the top of it, the peak of it. I call it the apex. This is where relationship is happening. This is where love and care for each other is happening, where intimacy, where hanging out with friends is happening. This is where altruism, or it's an interpersonal state of engagement that has no attachment to outcome. So this is the place where people simultaneously engage. So conscious sexuality or lovemaking is happening there. So where both people want something simultaneously, where both can be in action, and it is for both. That is not happening within the engagement zones, and that's neither happening within the wheel of consent. The wheel of consent is a graphic what happens when 2 people play the 3-minute game. But you don't want to live your life in the 3-minute game or asking all the time if you can touch your partner. So this is a developmental structure that you can go from that place of interpersonal engagement without attachment or outcome into a transpersonal place where the bliss state, the neurological place, is possible to reach. So here's another picture of the dynamic of the apex. So as you see here, the peak of the apex, when you look from on top, is literally the middle point of a pyramid. And if you don't ask, if you can't say no, you possibly hang out in the shadow field. That was another slide. Let's see where that goes. That was pretty much it. All right. Any questions about that? Just let it sink in for a moment. Okay, great. Then I would like to invite you to lean back again and relax. Take another object in your hand. It might be the same that you had before, or a totally different one. Take a cushion in your lap and move backwards. We do that for about 2-3 minutes. So just again, make connection with that object. Feel it in your hands. And now you have different context in your rational mind. Now you have connection to the dynamic that you can move your action. You can move in your action towards pleasure on your own skin. So you are inherently entitled in your own body, in the place of self-care and your own base, to feel everything that you want to feel that belongs to you. That's your birthright. Nobody can give that to you or take away from you. It's in your logical foundation in your nervous system. And now you know, when you want to touch and feel somebody else, you don't need to give to them. All what you need is their permission. And how to get that permission is asking that very simple question. Can I feel you? May I feel you? Am I allowed to feel you? Do I have permission to feel you? When you have that in your body, in your nervous system, embodied from a neurological place, not rational, physical feeling in your skin, when you know in your cellular structure that this is yours, you can ask anybody, anytime, to touch you the way how you want to be touched with a second request. Can you do this and that to me? Can you touch me? Can you massage me? Can you do this? Can you do that? And stay there for a moment and feel as much as you can allow yourself. This place where there's nothing to give here, there's nothing to get. This place in your skin that is not about love or relationship. It's just your choice of movement towards pleasure. It always was there, and it always will be there. This is your birthright. Nobody can give that to you, and nobody can take that away from you. And all I'm doing is giving you some hints to remember. Slow down your hands till they stop. Stay there for a moment and let all this information and all this experience from the last hour and 50 minutes just pass by, and take everything that resonates with you, make it yours. And everything that doesn't resonate with you, just let it go. And while you stay there and feel in yourself just maybe a tiny little bit of gratitude, not for anything or for anybody, just the joy of gratitude in your own body, a feeling of gratitude. And then I invite you to unmute yourself in your own way, in your own speed, in your own time, and share 1 or 2 words. What are you grateful for at the moment? What are you grateful for?
More consciousness.
Yeah.
Yeah, consciousness, refinement and clarity.
Yes.
I'm grateful for an awareness that I didn't have present around situations in the past that I now realize.
Wow, okay. Thank you. Who else?
I'm grateful for this medium Zoom that allows us to come together in this way and exchange this information.
Yeah, it is. It's amazing that we have that in these times.
I'm grateful for courageous clarity and vulnerability.
Thank you.
I'm grateful that I have the courage to ask for what I want.
Thank you.
I'm grateful for presence and pleasure.
Thank you. Who else?
Great. They should have so many people that inspired me.
I'm grateful for my curiosity and we're sharing with you this moment together.
I am grateful too, Matt, for you sharing it. It is everything with us for this knowledge. For me, it was, I don't know, that discovering this pleasure. It's really, I don't know, a lot. It's every time it, I don't know, overwhelmed me very much. And well, I'm really very grateful for discovering it in my life. Thank you.
All right. So 2 more people.
I'm grateful for all the pleasure and joy I feel in my body so easily.
One last one. Okay, then I would like to use the opportunity for the last 2 minutes to do some sharing about what's coming up next. So it is the workshop Foundation of Somatic Consent. It starts on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central European Time. It's not a good time for the Americans or the, but I had in the last course, there were 3 people that were getting up at 4 o'clock from New York, and they had just a good Saturday morning. And everything is recorded, it is in the course. So it is possible if you want that. So what I will provide that is a 10-week training, 90 minutes every Saturday morning, 10 till 11:30. Everything is recorded. What you will learn is somatic awareness and sensitivity, what we have done, a lot of questions and answers. So this somatic embodiment of the engagement system, what I have shown you in 90 minutes, to know when you put yourself first and when second, and really how that feels in your body. Being really clear and straightforward about your boundaries and your limits, to really ask for what you want and make a request. And through that, expanding your erotic potential. So this entire thing will happening on Zoom, as said already, 10 times 90 minutes. Everybody who is attending will have an individual 30 minutes Zoom session with me whenever that fits in your time and my time frame. All videos and maps that I've created that will part of the course, you can use them and making them yours. And that will happening in a private Facebook group for all questions and answers outside of this dynamics. So there's an extra bonus part of that is there is a course, a free course, Waking Up Your Hands in the 60-day challenge and the 3-minute game, how to play it and how to find it yourself and how to go into this dynamic with other people. So there are step-by-step teachings how to find it yourself. And the ebook is already part of the session today. You will find that in the chat. I put that in. There's a link for the handbook. You just go there and sign up again, and then you're getting an email confirmation, and you click that one, and then you get the PDF and can read that. It's just like it's an amazing little kind of self-study handbook. And there's an app coming soon that's as well part of that course, so that you, when you're a lot on your phone, you can actually do 5 minutes a day playing with the object and getting that in your body. It's like a 5-minute a day meditation, and you do that for 64 days, and how to play the 3-minute game, all well described on the app. So this course has a cost of 395 euro. I have still an extra for webinars. So if you sign up today, you will have 50% off. So if you feel that resonates with you and that's all for you, click that link and get your 50% discount if you want that. I would so love to have each and one of you there. And this is a one-time opportunity. That's probably the only online course that I offer, because after this lockdown, I can't wait to go back in workshops and meet real people and engage with people. So if you can't come, if you want to join somehow and meet me once a week and other people like we did that here's pretty much the same frame, then please feel more than welcome to join. That's pretty much it for today. Please copy the link out of the chat. And thank you for joining. Thank you for coming by. Thank you for signing up. Have all a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and make that all yours. And looking forward to seeing you somehow, somewhere. Please feel free to unmute yourself if you want to. Write anything in the chat. I play a little bit of music because it's nice. There's one song coming after that one. I so love it. You might have heard about Ben Harper, the girl song.
I'm gonna make it a brighter place. I'm gonna make it a safer place. I'm gonna help human rights with my own two hands.
I love that one. yeah, there's a question. Yes, the recording is available. I will send a link to everybody who has been signing up to the webinar anyway, so you can watch it again. All right. Nice one, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.